The Dallas Cowboys' first preseason game brought a lot of excitement and, as expected, a few concerns, especially when it comes to injuries and an early look at how the team is shaping up in both the offensive and defensive phases. One of the key storylines emerging from this game revolves around the health status of several players, starting with Joe Milton. While it was reported that Milton suffered a bruised elbow during the matchup, the team's decision not to put any other quarterbacks in action on Sunday sends a clear signal that his injury is likely manageable. There's a good feeling among the coaching staff that Milton will be okay, which is definitely a relief because quarterback depth and readiness always remain critical throughout preseason. The head coach seemed unbothered after the game, not expressing any major concerns about Milton's condition. That sort of calm and confidence is often a positive indicator that, while the injury might have looked uncomfortable at first, it's not severe enough to derail his preparations for the regular season. Meanwhile, Sadie Charles' situation is a little more uncertain. After the initial reactions and coverage, new information surfaced pointing to a hyperextended knee for Charles. That's never an easy injury to deal with, especially for a player who is vying to establish his place on a competitive Cowboys roster. Hyperextensions can vary widely in severity, and it often takes a series of tests and scans to understand the full scope of the damage and recovery timeline. The team will likely keep a close eye on his progress and provide updates as the medical staff gathers more data. Offensive line depth has been an ongoing topic for Dallas, and with Charles' injury now in the mix, the Cowboys' ability to manage that depth will be tested. How soon Charles returns, or if he's sidelined for an extended period, could ripple across the entire offensive line rotation and influence game plans in the coming weeks. Robert Raschel also found himself in the injury spotlight, though his absence wasn't a coaching decision to bench him as some initially speculated. Instead, it turns out he tweaked his hamstring, which is always worrisome for a player expected to see significant snaps. Hamstring injuries notoriously can linger, causing discomfort and limiting explosiveness, so it will be crucial to monitor how much time Raschel will miss. Given the Cowboys' tendencies to utilize him quite a bit, any extended absence could force adjustments, whether through backup stepping up or changes in blocking schemes. This string of soft tissue injuries has been a bit of a theme during this off-season and into the preseason, and it's definitely not what any team wants when trying to build momentum and consistency. Before the regular season kicks off, the offensive line, as always, remains a major focus area for Dallas, and injury updates add to the ongoing storyline of how the unit will gel under the pressure of a full NFL schedule in a league where games are often won and lost in the trenches. Keeping these players healthy and able to perform at a high level is essential. The Cowboys have depth, but the quality of backups can vary, and maintaining continuity is a challenge when injuries strike. This makes every practice, every snap, and every opportunity to evaluate talent critical. Shifting gears to the running game, Phil Mafah's performance deserves a closer look. Initially, during the immediate post-game reactions, Mafah didn't receive as much spotlight as some others, but after reviewing the game with more attention, it's clear he made a solid impression. Watching him brought back memories of his college days at Clemson, where he was known as a powerful, hard-nosed runner who doesn't back down easily. That same physicality was evident on the field as he carried the ball with force and determination, demonstrating that he can handle contact and consistently gain positive yards. One of his best runs, a 14-yard burst, was unfortunately negated by a penalty, which is always frustrating for both player and fans alike, because those plays represent potential momentum swings that just get wiped away. Still, if you look beyond the penalty and focus on the overall effectiveness, Mafah's numbers improved significantly throughout the game. He showed progress from previous performances, especially in yards per carry and how far he was able to push forward after initial contact. That ability to keep moving forward despite defenders trying to bring him down is a key trait for a running back who wants to make a lasting impact in the NFL. It's one thing to gain yards in the open field, but quite another to gain them when you're being hit and grabbed immediately. Mafah demonstrated he has that toughness and balance. These sorts of efforts not only help the offense sustain drives, but also create positive energy on the sidelines and in the locker room. The running game often sets the tone for a team's physicality, and seeing a player like Mafah embody that is encouraging for Dallas. Of course, Mafah wasn't the only running back who stood out. Malik Davis put in a performance that caught many eyes, showcasing explosive speed and sharp vision. His 7 carries for 63 yards translated to an impressive average of over 9 yards per attempt, which is elite territory for any back, especially in a preseason game where defenses are often testing new personnel and rotations. Davis consistently made defenders miss and demonstrated an ability to accelerate through tight spaces. He also showed resilience after contact, which is crucial in the NFL when every yard matters. Numbers like 6.1 for yards after contact highlight his strength and ability to push through tackles rather than simply avoiding them. This combination of speed, power, and balance paints a picture of a versatile and dynamic back who could be a real weapon on the field. Dutch Vaughn's involvement seemed a bit more limited. Watching the game, it appeared he may have been on a pitch count, perhaps due to the coaches wanting to manage his workload carefully or see how the depth chart shapes up. Vaughn played mostly in the first quarter before coming off the field, which might suggest he's still competing for snaps behind the likes of Davis and Maffa. Even with limited opportunities, Vaughn made the most of his 3 carries, rushing for 17 yards. Unfortunately, one of his runs was called back because of a penalty, which again underscores how costly infractions can be in disrupting rhythm and momentum. His brief but effective presence showed that when given chances, he can be productive. But the pitch count hints at a cautious approach by the coaching staff as they evaluate his readiness and role in the offense. The backfield situation remains an intriguing one, notably absent from the game where some of the bigger names expected to contend for playing time. Javon Williams was a healthy scratch, meaning he was available but not activated to play. Miles Sanders was sidelined due to injury, and Jaden Blue was also out for the game because of health issues. Hunter Lipke joined Williams as another healthy scratch. This absence of key backs opens up opportunities for others like Maffa and Davis to carve out roles and show the coaches why they deserve a spot on the roster. Meanwhile, some of the rookies didn't see the field, such as Savoni Rebel and Jaden Blue. Their absence has been noted, and there's a growing hope among fans and analysts alike that they'll be able to return sooner, rather than later, especially as the preseason moves forward and the regular season approaches. Jaden Blue's injury, in particular, has been a setback, but there's cautious optimism around his recovery timeline. The hope is that by the second week of preseason, he'll be back on the gridiron, contributing to the team's depth and adding some much-needed energy to the defensive secondary. Among the rookies who did make an impact was Shamar James, who impressed during his time on the field. James showed himself to be active and around the ball, a trait coaches love to see in a young defensive back. He played 12 snaps, and while he made some strong plays, he also gave up a critical touchdown on an angle route that highlighted an area for growth. That specific play saw James over-pursue, allowing the running back to cut inside and get into the end zone. It was a classic rookie mistake, but it also provides a clear focal point for improvement as he gains experience. Overall, though, James's performance was solid, and he demonstrated the kind of hustle, awareness that could make him a valuable contributor down the line. It's also worth mentioning players like Jandy Cornelius and TJ Bass on the offensive line. Cornelius, in particular, stood out for his consistency, playing 35 snaps without allowing a single pressure or committing a penalty. His reliability in both pass protection and run blocking earned him one of the highest grades on the offensive line, a notable achievement considering the pressure that comes with adjusting to the speed and complexity of the NFL game. Bass also showed promise, although he faced some challenges at both left guard and center. His performance was solid overall, but there's a sense that he still needs to refine his technique and awareness to become a more dominant presence up front. One player who drew mixed reviews was Jay Toya. His snap count was high, 38 snaps, which may have been too many for his current level. While he showed flashes of ability early on, he faded as the game went on, struggling against some of the Rams' lesser-known offensive linemen. It was clear that the volume of snaps took a toll, and it might be that limiting his time on the field could help him perform better when called upon. The comparison with Mazi Smith, who played fewer snaps but showed steadiness, is telling. Smith didn't make highlight reel plays, but he was solid enough to avoid costly mistakes. It's the kind of dependable performance coaches appreciate, especially from depth players who need to be ready when the starters rest or injuries strike. Speaking of the Rams, the running backs were mostly contained during the game. The top-to-backs had decent numbers, averaging just over 3.5 yards per carry. But it was Cody Schrader who really popped off late in the game, breaking off some big runs. The Cowboys' run defense held up well early, but as fatigue set in and backup saw more snaps, the Rams found some success on the ground. That late-game surge highlighted an area where the Cowboys still have work to do, particularly at defensive tackle, where they've struggled to generate consistent pressure or clog running lanes effectively. It's a concern that the coaching staff will be keeping a close eye on, especially as the regular season approaches and the level of competition intensifies. On offense, The running game showed promise, largely thanks to the combined efforts of Malik Davis and Phil Maffa. Davis was the standout, averaging an impressive 9 yards per carry on 7 attempts, and showing elite ability to gain yards after contact. His performance was a major bright spot and one that could influence how the Cowboys approached the rushing attack moving forward. Maffa also made significant strides, improving his average yards per carry and demonstrating a knack for falling forward and grinding out tough yards. The duo's productivity helped keep the offense balanced and opened up opportunities for the passing game. Meanwhile, Dutch Vaughn's role appeared limited, possibly due to a pitch count to manage his workload. He contributed with 3 carries for 17 yards but did not see extended action beyond the first quarter. This limited role could suggest where he stands in the depth chart for the running back position, especially given how heavily Davis was featured during the game. Managing snap counts in the preseason is common as teams work to protect young players and avoid injuries, but it also sends signals about who is pushing for more prominent roles. Looking ahead to the next preseason game, there are questions about whether players like Tyler Booker will see more action. Booker, an offensive guard who didn't play in the opener, represents one of those debates between giving players rest to keep them fresh and getting them reps to build chemistry and evaluate performance under game conditions. Increasing playing time for players like Booker, Terrence Steele, and Cooper Beebe could help the coaching staff make clearer decisions about the final roster. Preseason is the time to iron out these details, so fans should expect more rotation and more chances for these young players to prove themselves. The overall theme emerging from the early preseason action is that the Cowboys have a mix of promising talent and areas that need improvement. Injuries have complicated the picture, but the performances on the field have provided hope, especially in the running game and some defensive rookies showing glimpses of potential. It's a balancing act for the coaching staff to develop young players, manage health, and build a cohesive team that can compete week in and week out once the regular season kicks off. With each game, there will be more clarity on who will step up and who might struggle to hold on to a spot. As the Cowboys continue their preseason journey, fans should keep a close eye on these developing storylines, the health of key players, the progression of rookies, and how the team adjusts to challenges will all shape the trajectory of the season. It's early, but the foundation is being laid, and the next few weeks will be crucial in setting the tone for what promises to be an intriguing campaign. The blend of youth and experience, combined with the coaching staff's decisions, will ultimately determine how competitive the Cowboys will be when the stakes really start to matter. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, rumors are swirling that Lamar Jackson, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in recent years, could be the newest reinforcement for the Dallas Cowboys. Sources close to the team hint at ongoing negotiations and intense discussions that suggest Jackson might soon don the iconic Cowboys uniform. The possibility alone has fans buzzing with excitement, sparking endless speculation about how this dynamic athlete could reshape the team's future. Jackson's unique blend of speed, agility, and arm strength could inject new life into a Cowboys offense that has been searching for consistency and innovation. Though nothing has been officially confirmed yet, the mere prospect has created a frenzy among supporters, with social media exploding in anticipation and debates. If true, this acquisition would mark one of the most significant quarterback moves in recent NFL history, potentially transforming the Cowboys into an unstoppable force. The excitement is palpable, with fans eagerly waiting for any confirmation that would turn this tantalizing rumor into reality. Imagining the impact of such a high-profile signing on the upcoming season, the buzz around Lamar Jackson joining the Cowboys has not only ignited the fan base but also caught the attention of analysts and former players who are weighing in on what this could mean for the franchise. Jackson's playing style, characterized by his incredible mobility and improvisational skills, fits perfectly into the Cowboys' offensive schemes, which have struggled to maximize their potential. In recent seasons, experts speculate that his presence could open up numerous strategic possibilities, enabling the team to diversify its attack and challenge defenses in unprecedented ways. Rumors suggest that internal meetings are happening at high levels within the Cowboys organization to discuss how best to integrate Jackson's talents with the existing roster. Meanwhile, the locker room atmosphere is reportedly buzzing with anticipation as players prepare for the possibility of welcoming such a transformative figure. This potential acquisition could also have ripple effects across the league, forcing other teams to reconsider their quarterback strategies. As the story develops, the NFL world remains glued to updates, pondering how the Cowboys could leverage this opportunity to reclaim their dominance. Fans have taken to various platforms, fueling the rumor mill about Lamar Jackson's imminent move to Dallas with fervor and passion. Online forums, Twitter feeds, and fan blogs are overflowing with theories about how Jackson could fit into the Cowboys' offensive lineup and what this means for the team's star players. Some speculate that Jackson's arrival could herald a shift in the team's play calling, with more emphasis on mobility and creative plays, potentially redefining the Cowboys' identity on the field. Others suggest this could lead to a shakeup in the quarterback depth chart, raising questions about the future of current players and the coaching staff's long-term plans. The excitement among the Dallas faithful is contagious as chants of Lamar echo in virtual spaces, highlighting the hope and belief that this signing could be the catalyst for a championship run. Meanwhile, the Cowboys' management has been unusually tight-lipped, fueling the flames of speculation. The ongoing silence has only intensified curiosity, with fans eagerly dissecting every piece of news, no matter how small, to find clues about the potential blockbuster deal. Speculation is rife about the possible impact Lamar Jackson could have off the field as well, as his charismatic personality and leadership qualities are believed to resonate deeply with the Cowboys' locker room culture. Observers suggest that Jackson's high energy and commitment could inspire teammates and elevate the entire team's morale. This rumored move has already started to shift the narrative around the Cowboys, who have faced criticism in recent years for inconsistent performances and leadership challenges. Jackson's reputation as a clutch performer and a dynamic playmaker is expected to bring renewed confidence and a winning mentality to the squad. Insiders hint that the coaching staff is eager to build around Jackson's unique skill set, possibly altering training regimens and game plans to maximize his effectiveness. Moreover, the media frenzy surrounding this potential signing is creating a buzz that could increase ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and overall fan engagement, benefiting the franchise economically. As rumors continue to circulate, the Cowboys are poised to become the center of attention, with Lamar Jackson at the heart of this thrilling speculation. While the excitement around Lamar Jackson potentially joining the Dallas Cowboys is palpable, questions remain about the logistics and challenges that lie ahead. Negotiations reportedly involve complex salary cap considerations and contract details that could delay any official announcement. There are also discussions about how the Cowboys would restructure their roster to accommodate Jackson, including potential trades or releases. Some insiders caution that while the rumor is enticing, it may face hurdles that could prevent it from materializing. The NFL landscape is notoriously unpredictable, and other teams might enter the bidding war, adding complexity to the situation. Fans and analysts alike are watching closely for any developments, analyzing every hint and leak. Despite the uncertainties, the buzz has already reinvigorated the Cowboys fan base and ignited hopes for a dramatic turnaround. Should the deal come to fruition, it could mark a defining moment in the team's history, propelling them back into the spotlight as serious Super Bowl contenders. Until then, the rumor mill keeps spinning, and the Dallas faithful remain on the edge,